Hello and welcome to another segment of the Fox 411 and Kiss Country Neighborhood News. Jay could not be with us here today. He had a thing that came up here at the last second, but usually it's yours truly, Harry O, and Jay Brooks, and are talking and visiting with people in the community, for different community things that are going on, and also nonprofit things that are going on, benefits, fundraisers, anything like that. But today, here's a gentleman I've been talking to and interviewing for a very long time, and his name is Tom Balmer of the Stebens Children's Theater. And Tom, it has been a while. Can you briefly just talk about what has Stebens been like through all this craziness in the last year and a half to 2 years?
Well, we've continued. We closed when it first cropped up that we closed out the season, and then the next season last year we did, but we had our people sitting far apart, and so we
Right.
had less audiences. We have a auditorium of 97, and so we'd have about 40 in there, or 30 maybe, and
Sure.
um, and the kids all wore shields so that you could see their face, but it still blocked the virus from spreading to some
Right.
degree. They're not as good as masks, but they did help, and you could see their face. And so we did the
Right.
season, and we really did remarkably well in terms of our own thespians.
Mm.
We had very few COVID cases, and they're children,
Right.
and so that helped. And
Right.
uh, and then this year, we because most of our children are vaccinated, we decided we're still wearing shields, but we have a full audience.
Right.
And so Wizard of Oz, we did very well. We were very happy to get through it as a large cast, and we were very happy to get through it because, of course, uh, it's spiking up again, and
Right.
so we didn't have anybody come down with it, and so we did well. And
That's
now
awesome.
we're on to our second show. So
Well, speaking of health, real quick, I should mention this Fox 411 and Kiss Country Neighborhood News is brought to you by CG Public Health, cgpublichealth.com, or you can see them out at Plaza West Shopping Center as well. So we appreciate their sponsorship for this program.
what a
So,
great sponsor you got.
yeah, how about
Yeah,
that, huh? Well, everybody's into the health thing nowadays,
that's right.
and they got to be informed. So, all right. So, tell us about this new production here now.
Well, 12 Dancing Princesses is a fairy tale that came out of the same tradition that all the tales came out of, the
Right.
European and Asian uh, oral tradition. And you see, before the Grimm brothers wrote it down, these stories were told all over Europe and Asia. And 12 Dancing Princesses, they've gone back and found about 10 different adaptations and 10 different titles, and each one a little different. And
Mhm.
so, anyways, the tale itself tells the story of a king who has 12 daughters. He doesn't know where they go at night. They sneak out, and he uh, comes on. He brings in these princesses to
Mhm.
follow his daughters and find out where they go. And his challenge is that if the prince is able to find out where they go, he will marry one of his daughters and become king over all the land. And if he doesn't, he will die. And so it's a real, plus minus situation there. And so, anyways, I adapted this story
Okay.
to the stage, and it has we follow the story in the traditional manner, and then we also tell the story in a modern manner. And so the modern man is a very rich, wealthy man with three daughters, and he worries about them constantly. And I wrote this back when my children were teenagers, and I mean that's what it struck home with me. I'm always worrying about my kids. Where are they? What are they
Right,
doing?
right, right, right.
And so, anyways, that's the
That's pretty
story,
cool.
and we tell it in two ways. And we've got a great cast and a great set.
Yeah. And how many are involved? How many kids you had
25
involved?
in the cast,
Oh,
and
that's fantastic.
probably another 10 backstage.
How about some of the notables? Can you tell us some of the lead roles?
Yeah,
It's
uh,
nice to
Bryn
shout out some
Christensen.
names. Yeah.
Yeah, Bryn Christensen plays uh, the traditional daughter, who's the love interest, and Kaylin Bailey plays the love interest in the modern drama, and then Maggie Garrett's is the next daughter, and Claire Sampson is another daughter,
Mm,
and oh, we have Anne Marie Hansen from Charles City. She's playing one of the traditional daughters.
mhm.
So it's a, I can go on and on, but those are the kind of the leads
Well, that's
in
cool. That's
the
cool.
story. And
Yeah,
oh, we have a couple of adults. We have a father, and we have
mhm.
a king, and the father is played by Jacob Gray, and uh, the king is played by Brian Truex. So,
And as far as this production this is gonna go on for what, all the way up to almost Christmas, or it starts
no, no, it's just one weekend.
one weekend and that's
December
it?
8th through December 12th. So you have
Okay,
to get your tickets uh, and get to it. It's a 1 hour show. It's very quick. It's a
okay,
fast moving. It has all kinds of dancing in it. Has a great
right.
sword fight in it, and pretty darn fun story.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. So it starts tomorrow, goes all the way through Sunday.
Right.
So I'd be getting tickets right away. And by the way, we put the information right here on the screen. For those of you that are listening in the podcast form, it's StebensSCT.com for the website, or call 424-9802. And I know there's certain times you can call Stebbins. So and I'm sure you have that on as a message when people
That's right.
call and if nobody can answer. But the best time to call is what, in the afternoon, I think, right?
Yeah, in the afternoon, noon to 5 on weekdays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's so great to talk to you again, Tom, and I know we're going to do a few more of these here throughout the year and keep everybody abreast of what's going on. I got to ask you though, and maybe you kind of said, I know you've had the kids there, and the kids are fine, and you're doing all what you got to do to keep it up for health responsibilities and all that stuff. But has it been tough to get some kids involved, or do you need more? You can always
Well,
use more,
we
probably, right?
always like more thespians, of course. Uh, but we're, 95% of what we had COVID. And so the
Yeah,
last year was down more than this year. I think
right.
this year people are, kids are like ready to do something.
Yeah.
They, they,
They
uh,
wanna do something. Yeah,
but the vaccination is helping,
yeah,
and the masking and the
mm,
shield, and you know we've done pretty well so far. We've had kids this year who have come down with it. I'm not sure if I'm hoping that they didn't come down with it here.
right,
We haven't had any kind of super spreader event where
right.
everybody came down with it. That didn't happen. That hasn't happened at all. But we've had kids left and right who
Mhm.
have you know uh, come down with it this year.
Well, and I've always said that there's always good that comes out of something bad. You might even had some new faces maybe,
Oh, yeah.
that stopped by, or maybe they're just thinking about it. It's like, "I gotta really do something. I wanna do something with Stebbins,"
You
and,
know, the other thing that I wanted to mention is that we do have our end of the year fundraiser happening, and we send out all our letters and our
oh, okay.
testimonials, and but we do raise money at the end of the year like everybody else. And if you're listening and you're interested and you're willing,
Yeah,
send us a buck.
yeah. Well, and how did they find out more about that, on the website
Yeah,
itself,
it's
or
again on the website, and they can call here also, and yeah.
and then, are there any get-togethers for this fundraiser? I know you
No, no,
used
no,
to do
this is
a
just
ton.
an end of the year letter
I see.
campaign.
Okay,
We do, in February, we're gonna have an event, and
right.
that'll be our fundraiser, our annual fundraiser in February. But this is just the end of the year. Uh,
Sure.
there's a match to it. We've got $9,000 to match, and so we're trying to uh, do our part and get the $9,000 that's gonna match the other 9.
Well, I tip my hat to you, Tom. I mean, in times that were kinda rough there for a lot of people, it probably would have been easy to lock the doors for a year or so, but you kept going. You
Yeah,
kept going, and I'm sure I bet you even did a lot of writing during that.
I did do a little writing. We actually created a musical called "It's Raining Cats and Dogs," and we're going to do that next year here. It already has been done at the. I had some collaborators, and they've already done it at their high school, and so we did spend our year profitably writing, and and this is my first musical, so that's fun.
Okay. And getting back to, somewhat normal on a normal schedule for next year, are you getting back to the whole, I wanna say, do you do about 10 productions a year?
No, we do. Now we're at 7. Yeah,
7.
we're at 7,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So we're producing uh,
Yeah,
about every 8 weeks. We're putting up something new, and so
that's pretty
and,
cool.
and of course we want to. That's what we want to do. Is that
Yeah,
we all
yeah,
want to do plays, and so it's a happy family. I'll tell you that.
you betcha.
Yeah.
Alright, Tom, well, it's a pleasure to talk with you. Thank you so much. Keep in touch with us, and, we'll have you on again soon, and again, StebensSCT.com for the website. If you wanna call, you can call 424-80 no,
9802.
9802 rather. Yeah. I had to wait for the scroll to go by. I was reading it. Just like people are doing right now. So, hey, this is one great thing we got going on in Mason City. Let's share the heck out of this video and tell people about it. And Tom, I hope you have a sold out 4 shows here this weekend, huh?
Thank you.
Yeah, very much. Okay, Tom Balmer from Stebens Children's Theater here joining us on the Fox 411 and Kiss Country Neighborhood News, all brought to you by CG Public Health. They're out at the Plaza West Shopping Center or cghealth.com.